Do you know what a seed-only diet actually does to your bird when they eat it every single day? Most owners think it's just a simple, natural meal. But what's really going on inside is something most people never know. It changes how their organs function, how they feel, and even how they interact with you. What starts happening might completely change the way you feed your bird. Here's what kicks in from day one. 1. Their body finally gets the nutrition it was designed for. Have you ever wondered why your bird obsesses over sunflower seeds, completely ignoring everything else in the bowl? It's not them being fussy. It's pure instinct, and that instinct is quietly working against them. Seeds are high in fat and incredibly rewarding to a bird's brain. That's what makes them so hard to resist. In the wild, a bird might spend hours foraging across miles just to find those seeds. But inside a cage, that reward is always there. And eating it all day creates a dangerously unbalanced diet. A seed-only diet has almost no vitamin A, vitamin D, calcium, or the essential. Compare that to a varied diet of fresh fruits, veggies, leafy greens, and quality pellets, a complete nutritional world. It's the nutritional equivalent of what a wild bird naturally forages across an entire living ecosystem every single day. When you start diversifying your bird's diet daily, something important shifts, and it starts happening fast. Their immune system finally gets the micronutrients it's been quietly starved of, and it starts to fight back properly. Their liver, which works overtime processing all that seed fat, finally gets a much-needed break. Fatty liver disease is one of the most common silent killers in pet birds, and most owners never even see it coming. Budgies, cockatiels, and Amazon parrots are especially at risk, and a seed-heavy diet is the #1 cause. Research confirmed that birds on nutritionally complete diets showed significantly better organ health compared to seed-only diets. Your bird won't change overnight, but their body finally stops running on empty. And that changes everything. Stay with me until the last point. Because there's a side of fresh feeding that can quietly backfire if you're not careful. 2. Their weight shifts in a way you absolutely won't expect. Why do so many pet birds struggle with obesity, even when their owners are not obviously overfeeding them? Seeds, especially sunflower seeds, can contain up to 50% fat. That's an enormous amount for a small body. In the wild, birds burn all that fat through hours of constant flying and foraging every single day. But your pet bird flies across a living room a few times a day. Their metabolism simply wasn't built for this. When you introduce fresh vegetables, fruits, and pellets daily, the whole equation changes. Lower fat, higher fiber, more satisfaction. That combination lets your bird feel genuinely full without loading them with the excess calories seeds bring every meal. Research found that birds on balanced fresh diets were far more likely to maintain a healthy body weight over time. So if your bird has been carrying extra weight and nothing seems to work, it may not be how much you feed. It's what. 3. Their feathers tell the truth before anything else does. Have you ever noticed how some birds have impossibly vibrant feathers, while others look dull and frayed no matter what? What if that had almost nothing to do with grooming? What if the real answer was hiding in the food bowl all along? Your bird's feathers are one of the most honest signals of what's happening inside their body at any given moment. Dull color, stress bars across the feather shaft, brittle tips, excessive dust. These are not cosmetic problems. They're signals. Feathers are built almost entirely from a protein called keratin. Without enough amino acids from food, they simply cannot grow properly. A seed-only diet is chronically deficient in the exact amino acids your bird's body needs to build strong, beautiful feathers. Without adequate vitamin A, the feather follicles themselves become compromised, and no amount of grooming fixes that from the outside. When you introduce a daily fresh diet, most owners start noticing the difference within one molt cycle. The change is visible. Colors intensify. Feathers come in fuller and smoother. That patchy, ragged look between molts begins to quietly disappear. If you've tried every spray, supplement, and lighting fix and nothing has worked, The real answer may be in the fresh food aisle. 4. Their behavior around food changes completely. Does your bird scream the moment you walk toward the cage? Do they go from calm to frantic in under a second? Do they lunge at the dish and guard it like their life depends on it? Most owners assume that's just their personality. But what if your bird isn't aggressive or demanding by nature? What if they're just never actually satisfied by what they eat? Birds on seed-only diets often develop frantic, obsessive feeding habits, not out of greed, but out of genuine nutritional desperation. Seeds don't send the right fullness signals to your bird's brain. The high-fat, low-fiber content digests fast and leaves them craving more. Their body keeps quietly craving what the seeds can't provide, so they beg and fling food even when the bowl looks full. So they scream, they pace, they fling food across the cage, because something nutritional is always missing, and their body knows it. When you introduce a varied fresh diet daily, that whole desperate cycle starts to break, often faster than you'd expect. Higher fiber adds real volume to each meal. Fresh variety triggers natural curiosity. The brain finally receives a complete nutritional signal. Studies confirmed that birds on varied diets showed significantly reduced repetitive food-seeking behavior and measurably lower stress levels overall. Your bird eats, feels satisfied, and actually walks away from the dish. Mealtime goes from chaotic and loud to calm and peaceful. To be fair, not all frantic food behavior comes from diet alone. Some birds develop habits from stress, trauma, or multi-bird competition. A better diet helps, but pairing it with foraging toys makes an enormous difference. It slows them down and engages their natural instincts. Their brains were literally wired over thousands of years to work for food. The foraging puzzle taps directly into that ancient design. Once fresh diet and foraging instinct work together, the shift is impossible to miss. Calm, engaged, and genuinely satisfied. Birds that feel consistently nourished become calmer and more bonded, more curious about you, and less obsessed with the food bowl. 5. The one risk most owners never think about, and it's the one that can quietly undo everything else. The moment fresh fruits and vegetables hit room temperature, bacteria and mold begin multiplying, and they do it faster than you'd think. So if fresh food is so beneficial, why is there a downside? Here it is, and it matters more than most people realize. Fresh food does not behave like seeds. Seeds can sit for hours without much changing. Fresh food simply cannot do the same. Depending on how warm your home is, that safe window can be as short as 2 hours, sometimes even less in summer heat. Birds that graze slowly throughout the day are especially at risk. That second visit to the bowl may not be safe anymore. The food may look the same. It may even smell fine to you. But bacterial growth does not announce itself, ever. The safe rule is simple. Never leave fresh food in your bird's cage for more than 2 hours. After that, remove it immediately. If your bird hasn't finished their fresh food within 2 hours, toss it. It's not waste, it's protection. Any unused prepped food should go straight into an airtight container in the fridge and must be used within 48 hours. One thing most owners miss: cold food straight from the fridge is not ideal either. Birds are put off by cold temperatures. Birds are naturally drawn to food that feels close to room temperature because it mimics what they'd find foraging fresh in the wild. Let refrigerated food sit out for a few minutes before offering it. That small step makes it far more appealing to your bird. This is not a reason to avoid fresh feeding. Everything we covered today still holds completely true for your bird's health. The difference between fresh feeding, helping your bird, and quietly harming them comes entirely down to how you handle it after preparing it. Get that part right, and you're giving your bird exactly what their body was designed for, every single day. Let's quickly recap. Fresh diet improves nutrition, balances weight, transforms feathers, calms behavior, and handled safely, it carries no downside. If this changed the way you think about feeding your bird, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more bird owners who care. And if you want to know what foods are secretly dangerous for your bird, our next video covers exactly that. Don't miss it. Thank you for watching Bird Sense, where we help you understand your bird from the inside out. See you in the next one.